It's live now. I got the red screen.
Wes is 5 minutes out.
Wes is 5 minutes out, so he'll be here in a bit.
Okay. We'll start in just a second. We're finishing up eating some fantastic food, and look at this color to this beer, man. Whoa. Talk a little about this beer.
So this is a beer we have called Sanctuario, which is a mixed fermentation saison. We age it in Chardonnay barrels. This is one of the first beers we made when we got open, and it's a pretty simple beer. Pilsner malt. Can't remember if it was 1 or 2 wheats. I think it was just unmalted Sonoran raw wheat. That's a grain we like to use a lot. I think it's got a little Munich 1 in it and some flaked oats. Pretty simple, standard farmhousey type of grain bill. And we ferment it with our mixed culture. We have a house culture. We have a couple different cultures, but this was the older one that I've been working on a long time. And then we aged it in Chardonnay barrels for about a year, little under a year on this one, I think. Started tasting good, so then we fruited a bunch of it for our Honor Society, which is kind of subscription service we have.
We're going to start official here. We're just talking about it's coming up to 7 o'clock.
All right.
Because we only got one person watching us right now. Anyway.
They can wait then.
That's probably me.
Probably you. Yeah, Wes just pulled up, so.
Okay.
Yeah, good time.
Yeah. So yeah, that's good.
Yeah, I imagine I'm come watching my phone to get the questions.
Did anyone leave questions in advance or no?
I didn't check.
Because I know you offered that up.
They don't usually. That's usually when I do. We do a podcast thing.
Okay.
They'll ask questions. Fucking works. Because I think, man, we got more than one. There's 2 people now watching.
All right, welcome.
Yeah, that's what happened here.
Here's Wes.
Fantastic.
Just in time.
With barrels in the back of his truck, I saw.
Yeah, he picked up some rum barrels today.
Yeah.
Hey, he's in Denver, might as well pick up some barrels, right?
Yeah.
Save on the freight.
Should be a tax
Full
write-off.
hands out, full hands in.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to start this thing here. This Art Whitaker, Milk the Funk the podcast live. We haven't done a live podcast probably about a year and a half. The last time I think I did one was with Brandon Jones and Jay Goodwin when they were talking about their Saison project, and then before that was the one up in Canada when I did the north of the border with the 4 or 5 brewers on a cidery up that way. We've got our first question. Somebody said, "What's up, John?" I think Corton.
Not much, you?
But we're here at Rowley Farmhouse Ales in Santa Fe, New Mexico. They make all types of beer here, but their farmhouse-style beers are fantastic. We have John Rowley right here. He's the
Hi, everybody.
owner, I guess, of Rowley Farmhouse Ales.
Yep. So we've got 3 owners: myself, Jeffrey, and Derek.
Hello.
We're all partners in this. We also have some investors, but we own the majority share of the business.
Go ahead and table. Who else is here?
I'll start with Tom.
Tom Luja, brewer at 2nd Street Brewery, just up the road from John.
I'm Luke Macias, beer blogger from New Mexico Darkside Brew Crew.
Wes Burbank, head brewer here at Rowley.
Derek Williams, owner.
That's got money.
Jeffrey Kaplan, chef, owner, and general manager.
I'm Tyler King, assistant brewer, I guess.
Brewer.
Brewer. Just regular.
Just brewer.
And one great thing about Rowley Farmhouse Ales is the food. You start reading sometimes the local blogs. They talk about the beer, but they talk about the food, and we just gorged ourselves. Anything from Texas poutine to chili to wings to macaroni and cheese to these freaking roasted Brussels sprouts.
Yeah, roasted Brussels sprouts,
Yeah,
bacon, green chili.
almighty. You know, and you guys have seen me before. You know I don't back away from my plate too often. So, but okay, we're going to start out first here. Talk about your philosophy around Rowley Farmhouse Ales.
So my philosophy is just to brew good, solid beer. We like to brew simple, not overly complicated recipes. That's kind of what farmhouse brewing to me is about. Don't use 7 or 8 grains to make a saison. Keep it limited for the most or something along those lines, I think. A lot of Pilsner malt, a lot of unmalted wheat. We're big fans of the raw wheat from Arizona, the Sonoran white wheat. It's really chewy. It's got a great, fantastic flavor. Just love it. It's It's one of my favorite things to brew with. I don't know about Wes. It's kind of gummy. He doesn't seem to mind too much. I don't hear him complain about stuck mash.
No, I've yet to stick a mash so far. So
So yeah, it's not that bad to brew with.
Well, we brew other styles besides the Farmhouse beers. We had
Well-
the Imperial IPA, which was just out of this world.
Well, we have to brew IPA in New Mexico. Cheers, I guess, to that.
Cheers. It's a good beer.
But New Mexico is an IPA state, whether we like it or not. The people here are hopheads. Plain and simple. So you have to have an IPA, at least one. It's crazy because that's our number one selling beer. Anytime we brew an IPA, it outsells everything else by a 2-to-1 margin at least. It's just how it is in New Mexico.
I think the same thing. Mitch Ermentinger said the same thing. You know, he didn't want to brew an IPA, so he brewed kind of his take on a New England IPA speciation and became his number one selling
Number
beer
one selling
and
beer,
number one
yeah.
highest rated beer on tap.
I'm not surprised, to be honest. We brew an IPA basically to keep the doors open here and to pay the rent. And we enjoy drinking IPA just as much as anyone else. So it's not painful for us. But my heart lies with the mixed fermentation. That's kind of what I want to do. But it's like Vinny with the. We've talked about this many times. Pliny pays for the shuns, right?
Yep.
And that's what we're doing here, more or less. We make the IPA just to keep the cash flowing. We got to pay the rent.
Your brewery, what kind of beer do y'all brew over at your brewery?
Our influence pretty much starts with a British tradition. So there's a lot of bitters. We make IPAs. This is our 21st anniversary, so we've been revisiting 21 recipes from over the years. So we've been doing a Citrovicin, and we're going to do a couple of Trappist Strongs. Like, we're going to have fun with it, but it's bitters, pale ales, IPAs. We've just started doing kettle sours recently. We did a Gosa that I just tasted the other day that we've been aging in tequila barrels, which was super pleasant. I can't wait to bring some here to share with you guys.
I look forward to trying it. Yeah.
And for all of you guys out there who are new brewers or watching this, we had a really good Kettle Sound podcast. As a administrator of Milk the Funk, about every other week, somebody comes on and says, well, how do we kettle sour?
How do I make a kettle sour beer?
Yeah, and
it happens every day.
And so we did a great podcast. Audie Hastings put to rest some rumors about kettle souring, about especially blanketing with CO2. They said there's no need for it. Also, I've recorded the CBC Mystery Brewing. I forget his name now, from Mystery Brewing. There was like 500 or 600 people in that. It was one of the biggest attended things at CBC, talking about kettle souring. And he reaffirmed the fact that you don't need CO2. And about that time, Marshall Schott from Brewlosophy came out with his blog, and they tested a beer where they put the CO2 on it and a beer without the CO2, and his people could not tell the difference. And so I think we're going to go by, got a thumbs up here from somebody here.
I think the pH management is your number one issue with that. If you can drop your pH to start, nothing's going to grow in it. You're going to get a good
And I think with some of this yeast like Plantarum, it drops so fast anyway. I mean, there's always been a big talk on Milk the Funk about pre-acidifying the wort to around 4.5, try to kill any crazy things. So there are also people think you get a little better head retention too, doing that. And I'm not for it or against it, but even at the talk, they said there's no need to do that. The talk that Audie Hastings did, the talk at CBC, and even some people
throw
who
in
do
your
it.
Plantarum and let it rip.
Yeah, Plantarum or Brevis. I think Omega has the Plantarum Brevis mix.
Nice.
But a lot of the yeast labs now have Plantarum coming out there, and seems to work real well. It's and use a fast strain like Plantarum. Okay, yeah, no Del Brecci. Thank you, Dan Pixley, our wiki man. Wish we were here.
He knows
it's not
it all.
that far.
It's only a 9-hour drive.
I came from Denver this morning.
There you go, from Denver. Yeah,
But yeah, it's been exciting because now we have 2 breweries in town.
Yeah.
So we could have fun at our original spot, which is a 10-barrel system.
Okay.
And hopefully we get to do collaboration at some point.
I hope so. Sooner than
Pump
later.
out 20 barrels of something together.
That's going to be fun. I vote for barley wine.
I'll drink to that.
Hey, barley wine is life, right, guys?
Some de-whizzle.
Please, I don't even subscribe to that page.
It's a little crazy, but I do like a good barley wine.
Okay, here's we go. Can you discuss your yeast cultures, prop your own, have a signature culture you use repeatedly, have the locals embraced your farmhouse ales? And I couldn't get his name because it went away too fast.
Okay, so I'll kind of reverse on that. We definitely are picking up a little bit of steam with locals and farmhouse ales. I think to begin with, it was a little less popular. It's definitely getting more popular now. It's slow though. We kind of get one or two new customers at a time hopping onto the Saison bandwagon. Our mixed culture, we have a couple. One we haven't really been using a whole lot yet. It's meant for some fooders when we get those, which we're hoping to do. I'll get into that in a little bit. But the mixed culture that I made years ago was basically a combination of lab and wild yeasts and some souring bacteria. I think it has brevis in it. It may have had Del Brucchi in it. I don't remember exactly. It does not have plantarum because this is well before that time frame when that became a popular thing. I started originally using a mix of 3711 and 3724. Is that what it is, or 3726? The Belgian Saison from Y East. The Belgian Saison from Y East, as everyone knows, is kind of a stickler. It likes to stop working midway through the fermentation, although it's the kind of fruitier one, the better flavor, the better Belgian phenol kind of profile. Whereas the 3711 is the workhorse, but it's a little more sterile. It doesn't have the complexity. But if you combine the two, you get a little bit of both, and it becomes a workhorse. So my mixed culture had a combination. And then I started throwing bread in there. Probably has 4 strains of bread at least. But then I threw some wild stuff in there. I actually fermented it with some local lavender near my house, clippings. And over time, it just became this thing that seemed to work better and better and better. And at one point, I just banked it with BSI, and now we can go back to it any time I want. And it's always worked great. We haven't really done a lot of long-term use on it here because we end up doing stupid things like dry hopping it and getting trub in there and throwing it out. But that's one of the plans in the future, is to do better with our kind of culture management and growing the strain further along, kind of like Jester King, how they always keep it going. And that's a function of us being lazy at this point, not putting dry hops in bags, things like that. But I think we can kind of see where it goes over time. I really like where it is now, so I don't see a problem with that.
Talk a little bit about your history about brewing. How did you end up here at Rowley Farmhouse Ales?
I was homebrewing for 7 years or so before I met John in the homebrew club, and started doing some collaboration brews at his house just as homebrewers. And you said you were going to open a brewery, and I said I want to help, and here we are.
Yep.
So.
Well, we have a question from Dan Pixley, and this is right into what we were talking about.
All right.
Do you have a membership club?
Yeah.
Let me read this there. For barrel-aged sours, and what are your thoughts on how successful or necessary such clubs are? And that was perfect. We weren't sure we were going to talk about this, but Dan, there you go. Thank you.
Dan, I'll be glad to talk about this for you because it's a kind of a sensitive topic for me right now, I guess. Not really sensitive, but so we do have a group called the Honor Society, and so back in the day, I don't know, 2012-ish or so, I joined this club. What was it? The Night Shift had a society, and then I joined one from Casey, and then I joined one from Rare Barrel. I had a bunch of them over the years, but I really liked kind of the general layout of the Night Shift one, where they did 5 different bottles of two bottles each for $300, and so we wanted to kind of do the same thing. It's probably a little out of date, and because a lot of companies are doing like a cheaper subscription, and then you get to buy the bottles. But we really like this model because it's going to help us buy some fooders. So we want to buy 2 fooders this year. We're not quite there yet. We have about 25 slots open right now. So if you want to join our club, now's the time. You can find it at rowleyfarmhouse.myshopify.com. And if you look under the beer section, it'll be right there. There's a link to join.
And did you say exactly what you get for that? Have you?
So I'll get into that.
Okay.
So basically, it's kind of our flagship products, all the barrel aged stuff. So like Wes picked up 3 rum barrels today. I picked up 3 gin barrels. Last week I was in Denver. So we want to do fun barrels, not necessarily wine barrels. There'll be 1 or 2 wine barrel beers probably. But right now we have some port wine barrels with a golden sour mix in. We're going to probably do some raspberries in that. That might be one of the beers. We have a Chardonnay barrel aged Southern beer. We call it the Southern Gentleman. We haven't released it yet. It's a beer we sub the wheat for grits, and we tasted that the other day. Tasting really good. We're going to put peaches on that.
We processed all the peaches for you. They're ready to
Yeah,
go.
we got a shitload of peaches.
200 pounds of peaches ready to go.
Yeah, so we're gonna. So Wes, I didn't tell you about this yet, but we've got a project tomorrow. We'll talk about that tomorrow. But yeah, so we all of our fun kind of projects are going to be come through the Honor Society as they get the first dibs on these bottles. And we want to sell those bottles in house as much as we can, but we're not big enough yet where we're not selling a lot of. We don't have lines here. We don't have people camping out in the parking lot. That's just not the kind of thing we have here.
That was going to be, I think, my next question is how has Santa Fe, the area, Albuquerque, or New Mexico, or just this general region on sour beers or mixed fermentation?
I think it's definitely coming around. I would say we're still kind of in the front wave of that here. It's definitely not a mature market like California or Portland, maybe. I don't know. We're not. We don't have a huge sour beer culture here. It's been growing though. Santa Fe Brewing did some sour beers in the past. They did really well. They won a bronze medal, I think 2014 for a creek they made. It was really good. So it's not. It's not unheard of here. It's just not a big part of the beer culture here. It's starting to become one.
Yeah.
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 Yet is the right word. It's starting to become one. But regardless of what the general populace wants, we're going to keep doing that because that's what we want to brew.
Right.
And that's why we set up our company the way we did. So we maintain the ownership. And so we're not beholden by shareholders to say, oh, you have to brew double IPA every day. We're going to do that anyway, but we want to focus on the farmhouse styles. That's really what we want to do.
Well, I think the first time I had your beer was when we were down in Tampa for Tampa Bay Beer Week, and we were at the Farmhouse whatever I'm going to say it.
Farmhouse is fun. Hi, Bob.
Bob Sylvester hosted, and it was fantastic. I think I remember one of the beers had muscadine in it, was it? Or
So
cantaloupe?
it was a mix of cantaloupes and honeydews.
Honeydew, that was what it
And that was the same base as this last beer, the Sanctuario Blackberry.
That was
But then
outstanding.
We did a tasting panel one day when we went through 3 or 4 of those barrels, and one of them, Tyler, had the great nose. Tyler has a fantastic olfactory sense. He definitely has a good palate and a good nose. He can pick out a lot of cool flavors. He makes a great beer judge. So one of the barrels had a distinct melon quality to it, and so we were like, "Wow, okay, that is a real melon kind of cool flavor. That's really unique." So we set that one aside, and we decided we're going to actually just add melons to that one. Why not? So we added 40-something pounds each of cantaloupes and honeydews to that barrel and let it sit for 3 or 4 months, and then we bottled it. And it was probably our first beer that was really awesome, I think.
It was. I can attest for it. It was terrific. It just.
We fell in love with that beer. I want to do it again, but it was one of those things where it's like that barrel.
Yeah.
It was almost like the rare barrel thing,
Yeah.
where that one barrel had that one note that just popped. And so something else is in that barrel now. We might want to revisit that. It's not the same base beer. It's similar, but it's not the same.
Well, that kind of leads right into my next question from Edward Townsend, who said, "Hi, John."
Hi, Edward. Congratulations on losing your glasses.
He goes,
He'll know what I mean.
"Okay. How long are your barrel-aged farmhouse beers on average
speaking of
spinning in barrels?" Yeah.
So I think the ones that we do typically are at least a year. Some of them are a little less. I think one of the earlier ones we did it at we bottled them after about 6.5 to 7 months. It really depends on the beer.
Yeah.
You have to taste the beer, and like Wes and I tasted the golden sour in the tawny port barrels the other day, and that beer's been in there for 15 months. It's still not quite there.
That sounds really good.
It tastes good, but it's not exactly what I think it should be. Whereas the Southern Gentleman, the grit beer, is tasting fantastic, and that's been in there less. It's closer to a year.
It says Melvin Brewing is just what? Is that distributor or
Is that what's his name? Is that John pulling up?
does he have any beer? I've never had a Melvin beer.
We don't have Melvin in the state.
They're good beers. And they have great time.
Oh yeah.
They're good. They're good. They have an IPA called 2x4.
Do you think he's got beer with him, or what's
He
it?
might.
We
He
can
might.
own that. I walked into a Thai place up in Jackson.
It's not the guy.
It was them, and pretty bartender got me ordering their food and drinking their beer.
Nice.
Not John.
Well, Melvin's here for stop by.
Okay, well, cool. Yeah,
That's
we
cool.
can always learn anything.
We have him on though. Yeah.
Bring him on the podcast.
You were gonna. What were we talking about? There was something a joke we were going to talk about.
I can't remember. Was there a joke?
What was we were going to talk about something that happened weird or funny here, but maybe not, because there's a dead spot. We were looking for the dead spot. We
Dead spot. We'll find
found
it.
a dead
Find
spot.
it.
Yeah. But yeah. So far everything's great. We got another bottle down here.
Yeah.
It's oh my god, that's what.
Finish up, and we'll give you
Yeah.
the notorious BDG.
Oh, nice.
BDG. Yeah, that was actually our first beer that we opened with. Was a non-barrel aged version of it. It's a beer to guard. It actually, I know I talked about not complex beers, but this one is actually fairly complex. I think it has 8 different malts in it. Some Cara Munich. I don't remember all of them. There's a lot of stuff in there. But we're shooting for the dark end of beer to guard. Beer to guard is a wide open style. You can have blonde beer to guard. You can have amber beer to guard. You can have dark beer to guard. Our version tends to be at the very high end of the SRM scale for beer to guard.
God, that is a beautiful beer. I mean, especially with the sunlight in the background.
So the
yeah.
glass is dirty, but the beer itself is clean. So yeah, this beer was aged in apple brandy barrels. So we released it when we first opened. I brewed a small batch of it. We used to have a 1-barrel system, and Tyler and I were brewing a lot.
I'm glad that's gone.
I'm glad that's gone too. Yeah, because that was a pain in the ass. But over time, we were able to get a 7-barrel system from our friends down at Canteen in Albuquerque. They upgraded to a 15, and they had a 7, and they were selling it, and it had a great heritage. They made great beer with it for 15 plus years. So we hopped on it. We bought it. It wasn't really in our business plan. We were going to do contract wort like Rare Barrel does, or many other sour places do. But we decided to kind of change our path when that came across our ability to purchase it. And it's actually been a real good thing for us, because now we can kind of control our destiny. We don't have to rely on other people brewing our wort. We've got Wes here. He's our full-time brewer. He's got a great pedigree. He kicks ass. He's a fantastic brewer. So if we weren't able to use that, he'd be cleaning up someone else's mash tun doing contract batches. That's not cool. Yeah. It's much better for us to brew it here in-house. Yeah. It gives us a lot better quality, I think, too, because we can control our processes a lot better than just the contract setup.
This is spectacular. I mean, seriously, cheers to everybody here. I mean,
Thank you guys.
I want an apple brandy barrel so bad. My little history for apple brandy barrels. One time when I first started brewing, right now I was getting pretty good in. Just probably about 3 or 4 years ago, I went up to Asheville and I just got a red wine barrel for our project that we did as a home brewer. And there was a barrel at Appalachian Vintner, which is a fantastic bottle shop up in Nashville. And got a great tap room, rare beers that come out of there, and they do a great job. And he says, no, that's an apple brandy barrel. He goes, we bought it. We're sending it over to Oscar Blues, and they're going to put 1050 in it for us.
Ooh, nice.
Oh, yeah, tell me about it. It ranks my number one beer I've ever drank in my life. And he was nice enough to put me on his email list. And I said, whenever this is ready, you send me a message. Give me 2 or 3 weeks so I could schedule a trip.
Come on up.
And he did. I got this email from him. He said, hey, Thursday night, we got 6 kegs. And he goes, we're going to serve it, and we're going to sell growlers. And so I changed my schedule and went to Asheville that evening, and it was fantastic beer. It was so good. I mean, I think I had 3 there. It was like 13% off ABV.
Nice.
It was,
It's a good evening.
yeah, it was a really good evening. And I took an Uber. No.
Smart.
And then, of course, I got a growler for my homebrew club. And it was, I think I paid $30 for a 32-ounce growler for that stuff. It was like,
I'm not surprised.
it was amazing. And people in my homebrew club who are stout drinkers didn't like sours and some of the things I was getting into. We shared it, and we actually have an older gentleman, Harry, he's from England, and he loves his stouts and his nickname in our homebrew club is Minister of Dark Beer. And and he came by, and after everybody had had their beer, he came by and gave me a hug. I said, he goes, what's that for? He goes, for bringing that beer. I said, well, Harry, there's still a little bit left in that growler. He kissed me on the cheek then. And Harry's not like that at all, man. It was
not how Harry rolls.
Yeah, Harry just likes a good dark beer. That beer was fantastic. It was out of this world good. Any other questions? Wes is the best from Kirsty Dowling. Christy Dowling.
That's Wes's girlfriend.
I was going to say, wife, girlfriend, or which one? No, girlfriend. Okay, girlfriend. Okay.
Bye, Kristen.
I'll give her a shout out. She made us some cookies because we did a collaboration with Superstition Meadery. I think it was over Memorial Day weekend.
Yeah.
We all drove down there, and we were selling some beer in Arizona that weekend. So we did a few events. We shipped them a pallet of beer or something like that. And so part of the deal was you all go to Superstition on Saturday and make a mead. I'm not sure it's not brewing, but make a mead with them. And so we wanted to thank them for the crazy hospitality. Thank you, Jeff. You're awesome, and your family is kick-ass. Super great people. So we wanted to send them some cookies as a thank you. So Wes's girlfriend makes really good cookies. She's actually a professional cookie baker.
Rude Boy Cookies.
Rude Boy Cookies, Albuquerque, yeah. So she made some peanut butter and jelly crime cookies for the guys at Superstition. We mailed it out. She mailed it out. Big hit. So
Your collab with Superstition, was it just a mead, or have they got honey where you're doing a braggot or anything like that?
no, it was a mead, but then we fermented it with Saison yeast,
Okay.
and then we added I think it was 12 boxes. It was either 10 or 12 boxes of apricot puree to the mix in primary.
I gotta get
And now it's in some kind of barrels. I'll give a shout out to Mike Arquines, Monster Coffee. He's an awesome guy. He was doing a collab with them last week, and he was pulling nails with Jeff and tasted our collab. He said it tasted great.
Oh, great.
So it's moving right along, but it won't be ready till next May. But it's in barrels now. So
Does anybody out there have any questions? I know this is on delay, so we're talking, and it might take 25 seconds for you guys ever even see it. So we'll wait. We'll just chit-chat while we're sitting here.
Yeah, I'll say, you asked about the Santa Fe market in this place. People talk about it. We have one brewery 2 miles that way and another space a mile this way, and people want these beers because of Rowley Farmhouse, which it's nice to give us the space to start trying to brew these beers.
that's very cool.
It's also great that you're already making them, and it's, as a vanguard brewery for it, making legit beers. You're not going to get here and get a faulty product, which
I hope not. If
it's
you do,
exciting. No,
yeah,
right.
I'm sad.
But it's also nice that you guys bring a lot of experience to the table, because I know a lot of Albuquerque breweries, they feel pressured to make the sours because there's more of a market for it there, right? So people come and fly into town and they say, oh, I want the sours, but a lot of the breweries there, they're young to the game. You know, they don't understand yeast culture. They don't understand a lot of that
Their
stuff.
brewing prowess isn't
And
there
there's-
yet.
Yeah, so they're.
That's why they need to join Milk the Funk. You give a shout out.
Shout out to Milk the Funk
Yeah.
for
For a
this
lot of these young
wide.
brewers,
yeah.
it's the first time they've ever made a sour of any kind.
Yeah,
And
that's
they're
usually
like,
not a
they
good
don't
thing.
understand, you know.
And that's the one thing that
Problems.
will ruin a person on a sour faster than anything. A new drinker is to have a bad sour.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
exactly.
baby diaper sours are not good.
No.
And I think, but
good.
I do travel around the country. My job, I sell steel for a living, and I'm actually in town for a problem at one of our job sites. And they said, "We got a problem with you, one of your customers in New Mexico." I said, "Can I go?" And usually we have somebody else that goes, because I looked at the schedule. I said, "There's no way I could get here in time for my meeting for tomorrow." I said, "I can go to Rowley Farmhouse Sales, and I've been wanting to go really, really bad, and it's on the company's dime." So cheers, man.
Cheers, Art. Thanks for coming out.
So I got to do this one. This one's for free. Hopefully, we'll be coming back out later summer with Von Seitz and Rowley to do
Yep. We got a great
collaboration.
idea
We got a great idea we're talking about. Oh, we got another question here from Andrew Douglas. What are some go-to tricks for bringing up pH? I'm aging a red sour base on grapes, and it gets down to 3.2. I'm hopping
Okay.
more now.
So you can do a couple things. Calcium carbonate is kind of a good salt for buffering up instead of down. The problem with that is it really will not give you a whole lot of range up unless you add a lot of calcium. It's really more of a brewing salt, not a post-fermentation salt. It could add an excess minerality. You could also add a strong base in very small quantities, drop-wise maybe, of some sodium hydroxide. You can get food-grade sodium hydroxide. We usually don't have to go up because our culture is not super aggressive. And we also control our pH going down with hops if we need to. If we want to make a beer that's not going to be very sour, we'll definitely add some IBUs to it to keep it from steering itself too far into the acid range. But yeah, I would definitely maybe a little bit of calcium carbonate. I would definitely not go heavy on that. You'd probably want to make a solution out of it first. Add a little bit to some water, hot water, get it mixed in, and use that. That might help you. Or a little bit of food grade or strong base. Sodium hydroxide is probably your safest bet.
And he said he used the Rare Barrel red sour base recipe. There you go, Jay. You get another shout out.
Jay gets lots of shouts out.
Yeah. Blending fixes all kinds of problems.
Yeah, blending is a good idea too. Blend it with a less sour beer. Make another beer and do that.
You'd mentioned you had a blog.
Yeah.
Talk about your blog. What's it called again?
New Mexico Dark Side Brew Crew.
Okay.
So we write about. I mean, we're one of the only games in town, kind of deal. We write about all the beer that happens from the tip of the top of the state to the bottom. We drink everything. Most of our beers are
Tough job.
Lots of
Yeah, it's a lot of stouts because we are the dark side. We drink a lot of stouts, but we drink big imperial IPAs and a few of us drink the sours. A few of us get in there. I love saisons. I always used to call it my closet favorite beer ever.
You're out now.
But I'm out now. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
now
a
you're out.
saison fan. These guys know I spend more time here than I do at the gym. Yeah, no. So we try to cover everything: beer events, anytime beers are released, that kind of stuff. So.
What's the beer scene like in New Mexico?
It's
for
great.
people who are traveling here. Of course, Santa Fe and Albuquerque, I guess, are the two biggest cities, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
I should have done my homework. I usually do, but
Yeah.
just from
Well, Cruces might be bigger
yeah.
than
Yeah,
Santa Fe.
Who do-
During
what-
the
Las
Oh,
Cruces, but it's
okay.
far south. It's like 300 miles
Do
south.
they have beer in Las
Yeah.
Cruces?
They do.
They do.
They absolutely do.
Give them a shout out to some of these breweries.
I don't know many in Las Cruces.
High Desert.
High Desert.
Desert.
There used to be a guy, Dennis.
Yeah.
What was Dennis's last name? He was a fantastic home brewer.
Yeah, I mean they're all over the
Yeah.
states.
Hi, Dennis.
We have new
He's
guys.
probably
We
not
can
watching.
give shout outs to some of the new guys opening up, like Lost Hiker and Riodoso. They're brand new. Cloud Crop just opened up.
Yeah.
Let's see, Red River.
Yeah, that
Brewing
kid came
Company
to visit
up
us.
north.
Hi, Cloud Croft.
Yeah.
Yeah,
he
hi,
was
guys.
he was a cool kid.
Big shout out to those guys. They're all brand new. Most people know about La Cumbre,
Right.
Bosque, Marble. Those guys are famous. Santa Fe Brewing Company's been around again, like you said, forever.
30-year anniversary coming up.
Yep, that's right. And so beer's been happening a lot in New Mexico for a long time, and what really got everything what gave us sort of a sense of style and purpose at the time was the fact that we had the New Mexico IPA Challenge a long time ago. And because
I
we
think it was
started
the
that...
16th year anniversary.
16th year, yeah. And
It's been
so
going
that's
on a
why
while.
we have our own distinct style, just like West Coast, just like East Coast. And that's been happening. That's why these guys are forced to brew an IPA.
Yeah. Well, what is a New Mexico style IPA then?
Well, it's like New Mexico style chili. It's,
it's just damn good.
little bigger, a little meaner.
Okay.
No, there's actually there was a kind of a push by some of the local beer leaders to try to define New Mexico IPA, and really they couldn't come up with a whole lot because it's very close to West Coast IPA.
Right.
It tends to be higher in minerality. They use up to like 500 grams in a 7-barrel batch-ish of calcium sulfate in their IPAs. So that's a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a lot.
Yeah.
So that's kind of one of the distinct things is the hard minerality. But really it's not. It's kind of analogous to West Coast IPA.
Okay.
But I don't know. That seems to be changing. Now IPAs are kind of all over the map. There's the haze craze.
Now, your Agent Scully, that's a hazy IPA, right?
Well, I don't know. It sort of is.
Okay.
Wes would disagree. It starts out with a little bit of haze, and it's not because of flour or oat milk or any of that stupid shit they do. We're not into that. Really, it's from the hopping procedures. We add hops. I mean,
Yeah.
that's how it happens. But yeah, a lot of guys will make beer hazy just to make it hazy, and that's not cool. If you're going to make a hazy IPA, it should be a remnant of the hopping, not a remnant of you adding some stupid flour to it. I mean, that's not cool.
We just did of course, one of the big IPA trends right now, people are doing is a new Brute style IPA, or we
Yeah.
call it San Francisco IPA, whatever.
We've been talking about it.
We actually, now we didn't use that, what was it the whatever that,
The amylase.
amylase.
Alpha
we
amylase.
we actually got our beer down to 0.00 and dry, but we use Brett and just
Brett
our
would do
technique.
it.
And
Brett will do it.
our brewery, for those who have ever had a lot of Von Sykes
I like
beer,
it. I like the idea.
Yeah.
Brett Brute.
yeah, and
could work.
we use a lot of herbs and spices on our beers. So we dry herbed it with lavender and sage, and we also use a lot of Calypso. And there was one of the new German hops. I can't think of which one it is now, but it's tasting.
It's pretty good.
It's really good, and of course, our beers have mostly been touched on the low carbonation side, so we're having to up the carbonation on this beer.
Well, that beer should have 3 volumes.
So we're excited about it. And we like to do things a little bit differently than what everybody else says. Our head brewer Alex is a Gruit guy. I mean, we actually have a beer. They put a beer over there in the far corner. That's we can break out. It's our Gruitius Gruit, as he calls it.
Nice. Gruitius Gruit.
Gruitius Gruit. We've had a lot of big. I brought the big. I think you tasted the Lick My Sage when we were down there. When we were down there,
That was really good, yeah.
said rosemary, sage, thyme, lemon balm, sorrel, and it was aged in. It was a sour beer and aged in a red wine barrel for
It was
about
really good, yeah.
8 months, and we really liked that beer. And
That was the farmhouse day at Bob's place. Hi,
yeah,
Bob.
yeah.
I already said hi to Bob.
Bob's awesome, man.
Bob is awesome. He totally hooked us up that day. That was a great day.
That was fantastic, and hopefully we'll do it again next year.
I hope so. That would be a lot of fun.
And for those who don't know, apparently the beer turned out fat. It started out bad,
Well, I can imagine. Yeah.
and and for those who don't know about that beer, he had 23 or 24 of the best farmhouse brewers in the country come down. John was one of them, and they brought their own unique ingredient to throw in the beer. What did you bring?
So I brought some Neo Mexicanas hops.
Oh, I love those. Todd Bates is the man.
Todd Bates. I went to his house recently.
No way! I mean, Todd are good friends.
He's a good guy.
Yeah.
He's a good guy. We're going to do a collaboration with him, a sumac type of beer.
Okay, we've done a sumac.
But we're going to try to find a source for sumac. We haven't figured that out yet.
Okay, we've got it in our backyards all over the place. We cut it fresh and throw it.
Well,
right
maybe
in.
I'll hit you up.
Yeah.
We should maybe do that with a 3-way
There
collaboration.
you go. Yeah. Oh, Todd sent me a rhizome last year that we've been friends for about 5 years now because I fell in love with the Neo Mexican multi,
Oh, yeah,
original
there's
multi,
some really good hops.
and I had it and I was making IPAs and people were just loving it, using it as a dry hop. The multi-head especially, and
that's the most common.
all of a sudden disappeared, and then I found out why. It's here in Nevada. I guess Ken Grossman came down and talked to Todd.
He bought all of them.
Bought all of them, even out of his own backyard. He could not find multi-head. Now it's been rebranded as Medusa.
Right.
And
still can't
We
find
just
it.
brewed it with Sabra, which is
That's one of the 5
Yeah.
strains, yeah.
well, he one day I was talking to Todd last year, and he goes, "There's this hop I've got, this rhizome, and he goes, I found it about 10,000 feet high, and he's brewed it with a brewery in New Mexico, and it could be what you guys, I don't know. It tastes like strawberries," he says, and
not this one.
he
Yeah, no, I know the one he's talking about. It's
And,
fucking
he-
amazing.
he sent me the rhizome, and
Is it the Amalia hops?
yeah, it's an Amalia hop. It is Amalia, but Amalia.
I think Amalia was one of them. I don't think that one was Amalia.
No?
So Santa Fe Brewing, years ago, they had a thing.
That's who it was. Yeah.
They had a thing called the Small Batch Saturday.
Yeah.
And over the years, it's changed hands from one brewer to the next brewer. And it was like basically a home brewing on Saturdays. They were really cool because they let us come in and brew there and use equipment they had, use their water.
Yeah, you could use their 10-gallon system.
Yeah, if they had a 10-gallon, 15-gallon system, something like that.
You drink it up. We got it.
Okay.
Yeah, we all
Keep them on schedule.
we always had the ability to go there and brew on Saturdays.
That beer. I don't want to drink this beer fast.
I like
That's really
It was
good.
nice.
One of my favorites. Believe me.
But
that
so one
was
of the
fun.
beers they brewed was a beer with that Neo Mexicanus strain that some dude that was friends with Todd grew at his house. Now Todd's had a falling out with this guy or something like that, where the guy's not he's not answering his phone. And I think the only other people that are growing this hop are the monks. There's a bunch of monks up in Abiquiu.
I've bought from them before. Yeah.
They don't sell the pro brewers though. They only sell the home brewers.
Right. I bought it as a humber. That's
Their prices are obscenely high. They're like $5 a.
I paid $6 an ounce, and that was 3 or 4 years ago.
Yeah, the same. It's like for a 7-barrel batch, I'd need to spend $500 on
Yeah.
hops. If I'm gonna do that, I'm gonna make a wet hop beer. I mean, simple as that. But they made a beer with that hop strictly, and it had a color like that, straw color, maybe a little bit of gold, and it had absolutely the juiciness of a strawberry. It tasted like I was drinking strawberry juice. Amazing beer. No, they actually gave me the remainder of those hops, and I brewed a beer with it. Didn't come out the same. So I don't know how they did it. It was like water chemistry was just right that day. But goddamn, that was good shit.
I don't know. What we've done is just taken that rhizome, and I've gave it to some guys who are farmers, and we split the rhizomes up, and we're trying to get that rhizome so we can get more and more plants and grow it.
The more the merrier.
Now, again, terroir is everything. I finally said that word right. I can never
said it
say
right.
it right. Yeah. I usually fuck that word up.
Say it again.
Excuse me.
Say it again.
Terroir. I think I've got it down. And our soil conditions and humidity we have in Tennessee. I've gotten really interested in Neo Mexicanus hops because, number one, most of the hops we can grow in Tennessee, and there's very few of them because of the heat, the humidity, the mold.
It's a lot different climate than you.
Yeah, don't have a lot of flavor. They're mostly the big bittering hops like Nugget and
Right.
And Cascade's really the only true, I would call, flavor aroma hop that of all the bunches. Neo Mexicanus seems to grow pretty well in our climate. It likes heat,
It does like heat.
and so even though it comes from a dry, but we seem to have a pretty good luck growing in Neo Mexicanus, and maybe
Rugged, man.
and if we can get it to go where we can have more flavor. I know that I went to the South Atlantic Hops Conference last year up in Asheville. There's a North Carolina State University has a hop program
nice.
up there trying to grow hops in the Southeast. They have a hop conference. Virginia Tech's there. University of Florida has a hop growing program. They're growing a lot of Neo Mexicanus down there in Florida. They're trying to blend.
I think anything will grow in Florida. It's crazy.
Neo Mexicanus. The one hop that everybody's really Canadian red vine grows crazy for us, even down in the south. Now it doesn't have a terrific flavor, and they're trying to. I think what they're looking at the Asheville South Atlantic Hops Research Center is maybe trying to crossbreed.
Yeah, they should
make a
hybridize
hybridized because. The problem we have in the South is the lack of daylight. Hops are very sensitive to a certain amount of daylight, and that's why they grow well in Washington, Oregon, Michigan, across that belt, Northern Europe, and then of course South Africa, New Zealand, the lower parts of Australia. And they talked at the conference about people are putting lights out. They're trying to do put lights out in their hop fields.
Pot growers.
Yeah, well, even hydroponic. There's a hydroponic hops or something that people are looking at. Of course, I'm a believer that bacteria and wild yeast are the new hops. I mean, hops. Hops depend on weather and a lot of land.
Yeah, for farmhouse ales, hops are kind of the secondary or even a tertiary thing, really.
Yeah.
I mean, we're not.
It's like brew with your reality.
Yeah, we're just using them mostly for alpha acids. Very little component. I mean, unless you're doing a dry hop version.
Right. But all the yeast. I became a yeast fan. It was weird how my story about becoming a yeast fan. I was just drinking beer and learning how to brew in a local brewery in my town. One day, the brewer decided to make a 15-gallon batch of beer, and it was just their basic blonde ale, but he used a Hefe yeast, a Kolsch yeast, and I forget the other one, and 3 different beers.
Yeah.
I thought, this is unbelievable, and that was the time when hop prices were ridiculous, especially for home brewers. We couldn't get
hop shortage.
Yeah, we couldn't get Citra, Amarillo, or any of the really good hops, and if they could, they were expensive. And since then, I've become a yeast guy. I got to know Jeff Mello from Bootleg Biology really well. David Thornton from Southeast Labs, our brewery. We use a lot of the beer that the hops, the yeast that David's collected around the world. He has his. I think our last podcast we talked about his yeast boot camp. How they actually collect yeast in the wild, but they streak it to get the bad yeast out of it. And again, they just won another gold medal at the U.S. Beer Open. They've got a gold medal at JBF, a gold medal at the Better Beer, and a gold medal at the U.S. Beer Open. So they're doing something right over there.
Doing something right.
Yeah, and it's if you guys are running down I-85 in between Greenville and Atlanta in South Carolina and Anderson, fantastic place. We actually do a beer. David also was a professor at Clemson in biofuels and things like that. One of the smartest guys I know, and he also works with the Clemson Research Farm, and they have the best peaches and nectarines. And they have an event called the Peachin' every October, and all these breweries. And we went down to we were at the Funk Collection in Charleston, so I stopped by Carolina Farmhouse and picked up 125 pounds of peaches. We have a peach beer that we're now brewing that just was put into a red wine barrel now, and into our Walmart red wine barrel.
Nice.
And
Your guys' peaches came in today?
No, they came.
We got
in a
them
couple
on
days
Saturday
ago.
night. Nice.
Yeah, we just processed them, and now they're ready to go into the beer.
where'd the peaches come from?
They're from Western Slope, Colorado.
Palisade, I think they
Palisade.
say.
Yeah.
Okay, I know that
so they're,
Casey.
Casey buys a lot of fruit.
Yeah, I was going to say he does a lot of.
We have a guy here that travels up to there, so it's really easy for. I mean, he probably gets the same fruit. But yeah, we've got Hotchkiss stuff before. We've got Palisade, peaches.
What do you do with? How do you guys brew with the fruit? How do you?
So we usually add it as a tertiary addition to post-fermented barrel-aged beer. So we're going to rack beer from barrels into a bright tank with fruit, and then we'll let that age for 6 to. See you later, Derek.
Nice meeting you.
Nice meeting you.
Thanks.
We'll let it age for as long as it needs on the fruit till it's re-fermented, and then we'll bottle it from the tank.
So you're not making any juice, huh?
No, we're not doing any juice beers here. Wes kind of wants to play with the gimmick shit because he likes Miley Cyrus.
That was what we were going to talk about.
There is a poster of mine.
I think that was what we were going to talk about.
So yeah, Wes really is he's inspirational in that respect.
He's the wrecking ball.
He's the wrecking ball.
As it were.
So one day we're bottling, we're hanging out, and Wes is a metal guy.
We're just magnet for the brewery for Wes.
Yeah, Wes, did you see that magnet they got for you?
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's Miley Cyrus right there.
So these were the peaches we just got were the organic early Red Havens.
Okay.
Early Red Havens, nice. They were super juicy. God damn, they taste good.
I
Yeah,
definitely snuck a couple bites of Jimmy's.
yeah.
Yeah, my wife was in the car and she couldn't on the way back from.
Like,
and
she's
she
not
couldn't.
still there, is she?
No. So she couldn't handle the smell of peaches. She was reaching back there and eating peaches. We also got some plums, so we threw the plums in there.
Yeah, we've got some plums ready to go.
And so we get peaches and plums, and whatever the hell else Alex throws in there, and I never tell him. I can't ever.
Well, the plums are from here. They're from Dixon.
We got the plums
Yeah,
locally.
local
Yeah.
Dixon plums.
Nice. Yeah. There's a lot of
Are
fruit
they back up and running?
pretty close to here, Dixon, New Mexico. There's also a town called Velarde, which is on the way to Dixon. They probably have a couple thousand fruit trees in that town. You just got to get to know the people up there, and you can buy some fruit from them.
I know that we got a friend of mine, David Caperton, watching. Jeff Porn from Adam Brewing watching.
No, Jeff. Hi, Jeff. I like Jeff. He's a nice guy.
Dwayne Schaff, the Kavik Master.
Kavik Master.
And he opened an Ebb and Flow Fermentation in Cape Girardeau. And Dwayne's a fantastic chef, owns a restaurant, but he's a brewer. But he's the one that got the Facebook page Kavik World Order going, and it's got Kavik flying all over the world.
I've been fixing to brew one of those. I've got some yeast for that. I just haven't done it yet.
He came down and did a collaboration with us, but we put a beer. I don't know, for some of you all have seen the barrel. We kind of made our own foeder at Von Seitz. It was
I saw that.
a
You
wine
stacked two
barrel and a
barrels
whiskey.
together?
We kind of shoved a whiskey barrel into a wine barrel, and
It's like a 130-gallon food.
yeah, and we put this beer, this Kavik beer, with a dark base into it. 2 months later, it tastes like a Flanders ale.
Nice.
And in 2 months, and we've already bottled it. It's already bottled.
Awesome.
And
That's fast.
yeah, it's unbelievable. And I think Audie Hastings put out, or maybe not Audie. Who's the other guy at Omega?
Lance.
Yeah, Lance Shaner had the recipe for a 5-day kettle sour.
Okay.
And
yeah, you can turn those kettle sours pretty
yeah,
quick.
with that using the Kavik hothead yeast, the Omega hothead
Right.
yeast.
Yeah, you can turn those quick.
Hey guys, you got any questions out there? We're rattling on
I
here.
didn't finish telling Wes's story about the,
Oh yeah, go ahead. Yes.
about Miley Cyrus. So we're rocking out. What are we playing?
You don't have to ask. You're
Lamb.
playing dead.
No, we were playing some metal that day. So it was like Lamb of God or some shit. I don't know what was it.
Probably.
And it was like Tesseract. And then all of a sudden,
You should karaoke.
Miley Cyrus comes on. And we're like, what the fuck is this? And so ever since then, Wes controls the Spotify. He throws a party in the USA in there
Every bottling day.
every bottling day, just randomly out of the blue. Boom! It shows up. So that's been a lot of fun.
You gotta change it up every once.
Got to mix it up. Got to mix it up. Yeah, Wes brings life to our boring bottling days.
Everybody that I've worked with in the past too, like I drove all the Crooked State guys crazy by randomly playing that shit too. So everybody knows it's kind of my thing.
Gotta do it.
We've talked about the beer. When I've done a lot of reading about this before I came down here, I heard a lot more, almost as much about the food as I did the beer. And we've tasted the food here today. It just blows me away how good this food is. If I can get transferred to New Mexico, I may do that. But
Well, we got the spicy nut bowl.
yeah, talk a little bit about.
good
You're
one.
the chef. Talk a little bit about your philosophy of food. We got a lot of foodies in the group too.
Well, I've been in the industry for about 30 years now. Started out as a dishwasher.
Were you
back when I was
6?
like 15.
Were you
I am
6 when you-
45. Went to culinary school. Went to business school for a hospitality management degree, and I basically put my way through school working as a line cook and doing just about every job in restaurants that I could in Los Angeles and San Francisco and in Southern Oregon as well. And John and I met maybe 6-7 years ago or something at a Deschutes dinner, actually, of all places. And we kind of hit it off and kept drinking ever since. And we started talking about what we wanted to do, and we wanted, kind of farm to table gastropub, some upscale comfort food that goes really well with John's beer. So that's what we really try to do here. We get as much ingredients as we can locally. We buy a lot of stuff from a couple local co-ops in town. So we're using local ingredients, local chicken, local cheeses, local produce as much as possible, local meats, and all to kind of pair with the beer.
Yeah, the cheese guy came by and brought us some free cheese on.
No, it wasn't free. We paid for it.
He said it was free.
He shorted us on Friday. And so I was like, can I come later and bring you the rest? That's the problem with dealing with local guys sometimes.
They made it sound like, oh, I got you guys a gift.
Yeah, no, that was...
The last beer, I don't think we talked about it.
We haven't
No,
talked
we
about
haven't
this
talked
one.
Yeah, it's delicious.
I already drank it. Sorry.
Here, this is what it looks like, guys. It's a delicious beer. Do you want to try? You can cheer. I'll pour a little bit. And you can talk
I'll take
about
a
your
little
beer.
more. I'll take a little more. So what beer is this actually?
That's must number 2.
Oh, if you must, yeah. Okay, great. So this is a fun project we do. It's real small, though. We do a single barrel of this at a time. And what the philosophy behind this beer is, we have a mixed fermentation or a Brett finished Berliner Weiss that we do called ab initio. And ab initio is kind of a scientific term from the beginning, or it kind of implies the simplest of models. So if you're doing modeling in of fluid dynamic systems, they say when you do an ab initio model, it's kind of a from scratch, from the beginning model. So ab initio is a simple beer. We sour it with plantarum. We don't do kettle sour per se. We just let it rip. We don't reboil it. We rack into a tote. A lot of our sour beers we brew into totes, and we sour it for 24 or 48 hours. And then we have a beer. This one has unmalted wheat. Our other Berliner Weiss has malted wheat and is finished with Saison yeast, which has a really good resistance to acid, so it does well in an acidic environment. Sometimes you get a little phenolic from that, but most of the time it's pretty good. So this beer goes into a barrel, and it's usually aged in a barrel. The first batch we did was 100 days in a Chardonnay barrel. But then we added must from a red grape. And I think the first one was what? It was, okay,
Yeah, it's Pinot.
Pinot Noir.
Fantastic.
We let that go for 100 days. I wanted to do a little more in this one. So this one is closer to 200 days. I think it was 202 days, something like that. But this one was the Gunnar Veltliner lees. So we used a Bordeaux barrel, a red barrel, and we all use this first use dump barrel. So we don't do this with a neutral barrel. We do this with a single barrel that's fresh, relatively fresh. And so it's just a single barrel beer. You get a very vinous kind of wine character to it. It's got a lot of tannins in it. It's intentional because it has a lot of lees in it. 40, 50 pounds of lees in a
It's
in a
fabulous.
single barrel.
I'd have to rate it one of the best beers that I've had in a long time.
Thank you.
It's a little similar to some of our beers. We have a lot of Venus quality in our beer. We have a yeast that we used, HS2, came from a honeysuckle plant in East Tennessee that
Okay.
David Thornton, and its ester profile is red wine and black pepper.
Nice.
And it really, and I got to give Brandon Jones credit too. It was a homebrew version we did, and he kept convinced me to use Brettanomyces lambicus from Y Yeast, not the White Labs version. He says because
Nobody likes White Labs.
Yeah, you're going to get that cherry, but right.
Sorry, I like Nina. She's fantastic. But yeah, they get a lot of shit for their problems.
Yes, diastaticus. We can use that word, right?
Well, Wes worked at Left Hand. He knows about diastatic.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say anything about it.
But
15
it's
second delay, right?
15-second delay. You can block that out.
But that yeast together with the right grains, especially some dark grains, a special B or something in the mash, when we make it, comes out. A lot of our beer, sour beer, has a red wine cherry pie
Awesome.
flavor to it. And
I like that.
It's our signature beer. It's a lot of reasons why this big, very popular brewery in East Tennessee, Carolina Farmhouse, and in our beers have a very similar quality because the yeast actually came from their farm. So
Okay.
that kind of gives you that. I'm going to give more hits
Sure.
what brewery that is in East Tennessee. And
Let's see the
but
water.
Southeast Labs uses all the Carolina Farmhouse yeast,
Okay.
and but David Thornton was the one that got the yeast. I got the yeast long before the other brewery in East Tennessee used it. And I've been using it in my home brews forever because even clean beers, it just by itself it gives out red wine. I do a amber ale that I pour a little muscadine juice in it, and I ferment it with this yeast. And even the judges, it made it to the finals of the National Homebrew Contest one year.
Nice.
And the judges said, we can taste the wine. And there's muscadine juice, which people probably give a little wine-like quality, but it just it made it over the cup. I used to use just a clean American yeast on that beer. It was a really good beer, but that particular yeast just made it go over the top.
Excellent.
And, so what do we drink? We got a new beer coming around.
Well, before you talk about that,
Okay.
to talk about local, the Lees came from Vivac Winery in Dixon. So.
Okay.
Yeah. So they're Vivac is a winery. They're small, but they do some really good stuff. And friends of ours live up there, and they were nice. They brought some Lees down for us.
Thank you.
Threw them in the barrel.
Give the West Zone, so
Yeah, it was a fun project. This is the second one we've done. You know, they're single barrel batches, so they're pretty small. They don't get out into distribution. So we just sell these in the house more or less.
And while we're talking about that, get your beer here. But the first thing that ever caught my eye about Rowley Farmhouse Ales was the unbelievable, fantastic logo. It's sophisticated yet simple. Hey, you like that?
I like simplicity.
Yeah, or you can even steal that.
Yeah.
Sophisticated yet simple. You can even call a beer that. But explain a little bit about what this is for those people who don't go to the desert very often.
Okay, so you can't see it, but behind us is a really large rose bush. And that bush was here when we got the building, and it's grown quite a bit actually since. We trim it down, but 2 or 3 times a year it just it blooms with 50, 60 rose.
bright pink.
Beautiful,
Bright pink,
yeah.
beautiful roses. Yeah, they're amazing. So the rose for us is kind of I don't know. It's a homely thing for us, right? It's part of our home.
See, that totally caught me by surprise. I thought it had to do with the desert rose, the little rock.
No, not that.
That's what I thought that was.
Not what you mean.
I'm not even sure what you're talking about.
Seriously, you never seen?
No, I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah, it looks just like that.
It looks like a rose.
Yeah, it looks like a rose. It's a rock. It has formation. It looks like, and it's the same color as.
So I'll give a shout out to the guy who made the rose, a guy named Mel Blom. I don't know if you know him. He was on a couple sour beer groups years ago. He's an artist. He does them. So he made the rose for us. We have another artist that's been working with us since. That's kind of done all of the layout. But Mel made the rose. But the first one looked like a steaming pile of turd. Okay. and we told him that. We're like,
Cow Pie Brewing.
yeah, we're like, dude, that rose isn't going to
We're
cut
not going to
it.
talk about them, okay?
We told him that, that looks like a big old turd. And he showed it to his wife, and his wife's like, yep, that's a big old turd. So he had to redo it, and that's what he came up with. And yeah, we've used that logo ever since. It's I think it's classy. We like to keep it classy.
What did I miss? What you said about this beer again?
So this is another the Sanctuario,
Okay.
which is the mixed fermentation beer aged in Chardonnay barrels. This is just Chardonnay barrels. So this is the plain beer without any other influence. No fruit, nothing else. Just Chardonnay barrel aged Sanctuario.
This again, terrific beer. This is a paid
Simple
for
beer.
advertisement for Rowley Farmhouse Sales
Cheers.
tonight, guys.
Drink Rowley Farmhouse beers. It will help us a lot.
Oh, we got a question. Oh no, that was Dan Pickett saying, laughing about the White Labs joke, saying that elephant just got bigger.
Nice.
Thanks.
I mean, come on, they got to deal with it.
Yeah, you got to own up to it.
Big mistakes you got to own.
Yeah. What else we got going? Anything else going on here that we could talk about? We've been going on about an hour or so, and unless anybody's got any questions out there, we haven't seen a whole lot of questions
I
today.
have a lot of questions. Wes hasn't talked a lot. Let's hear from Wes.
Talk about your brewing philosophy.
Yeah, Wes has good brewing philosophy.
Yes. Let's hear this.
Oh man, I don't even know how to like. So I've changed a lot recently, as you might see reflected in my Instagram account over the last weekend. But despite my age, I'm 32. I've been doing this for 7 years professionally. Very much like an old school German guy upbringing. Like the first brewery I started at, we did a lot of German beers. Backcountry Brewery in Frisco, Colorado. Alan and I did a lot of great German beers, and then I went to work at Left Hand under Rowe, who is, I think, one of the better German beer brewers in the country, Rowe Gunzel, who's now in Washington, D.C., I think, somewhere. And then I went to work for Dry Dock, who they got famous under Bill I doing German beers, so like I love German lager, and then kind of had some things happen. And went to Crooked Stave. Got into the sour thing and just dove deep. So everything's kind of changed over the last year or so, and I love the freedom that the kind of beers that John and I like to brew. You know, we can basically kind of do whatever we want. We do some of the gimmicky things sometimes just because we don't like to take ourselves too seriously. I did a glitter beer a couple weeks ago.
Oh, yeah. How'd that turn out? I bet you sold the shit out of that beer.
Yeah,
It was gone instantly. Yeah.
it was only
Phenomenal though.
5-gallon keg, Tropical Storm Daniels. It was a pink beer with pink glitter.
Pink glitter, pink beer.
Well played.
It was delicious though. Delicious. Let that be known. It was fantastic.
It was a
Sour
sour
out in
glitter.
about 3 hours.
It
Yeah.
was a sour glitter beer, so we like to have a lot of fun with it. I might
You can have fun with beer. I mean, really,
Yeah.
seriously.
You gotta have fun.
Yeah.
You know, why are you doing
Why are
that
you
shit?
doing
It's
it?
not
Yeah.
fun.
We definitely don't take ourselves too seriously. I just like making well-executed beers, and I like to be able to brew any style of beer. So the sour funk was kind of the last area that I felt like super comfortable doing. So it's just been kind of nice over the last year. And when this job came open, like John and I sat down and drank way too much, and it was pretty clear that he and I just, we get along really well, and we've had a great time since I've been here.
When you can ask me for the slushy machine?
Tomorrow morning.
Tomorrow morning. All right, we'll talk about that when we talk about the
Slushy
breeding
sour
schedule.
Oh, good.
Hey, this seems to
in.
be popular, man. I'm seeing.
I was just fucking with him, but yeah. that's-
No, man. I just saw a brewery today talking about a slushy machine.
I had one yesterday, actually.
He had one yesterday, a pina colada slushy. He was super gay for it. He loves it. Sorry about that. It's not. I don't mean it in a bad way.
Destiny Spencer, tropical pink sour beer with sparkles on my list. Brew now. There you go. There you go. So
Someone's on it. Yeah.
hey, I tell you, you learn something from listening.
I
things.
think. Well, I'll give you guys a tip because of what we learned from that process. Don't use the same color sparkles as the beer.
Yeah, that was a mistake.
You can't. You have to use a divergent color of.
It did produce a really cool effect that you don't see with the other glitter beers, which was kind of cool. But yeah, it definitely didn't work.
Yeah, you might want to use like a white glitter and a pink beer.
I got asked the question
I just not.
about 24 hours later. Do you see glitter?
No.
Okay.
I think it's soluble.
Oh, okay.
It's over time.
Okay.
I looked into it. It doesn't.
Well, he got it from his girlfriend who makes cookies.
Okay.
It's supposed to go into cookies.
Yeah,
Food grade.
we use like food grade edible glitter.
We didn't want to
It's the
buy the
same kind of strippers
BSG
use, by
pack
the way.
because it was like enough for like 100 barrels or whatever.
It's called feeds.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're gonna, make a stripper beer, you might
gotta
as
be
well
food
do it
grade.
right.
Yeah, stripper beer has to have glitter.
Yeah.
That's. I
And
mean,
it's got to
come
be
on.
food grade.
Or porn star. Sorry, she's a porn star.
She's a porn star, but I think she's kind of a stripper
She's
nowadays.
got arrested for stripping.
It's just got a recipe for.
I think she's more of a stripper now. She doesn't do the actual
Yeah.
videos anymore.
She doesn't have to.
She has to, yeah. She's up. She's graduated to the
Lawsuit status.
club circuit.
All those glitter beers and the conversations we'll have.
It is what it is. Everyone wants a little bit of attention, right?
That's right.
Cool. Cheers to.
Cheers to attention.
Yeah. We got. Looks like we have another beer that came out here.
Yeah.
We do have another beer that just came out.
I'm glad my hotel's about a mile away from here.
You're good. You're good.
Yeah, I'm staying in town tonight.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got your yuzu
It's
beer.
here somewhere. Yeah.
Yeah, bring,
I
and I brought a couple of ours too. So if you want,
Yeah,
I brought some
we'll-
comrade back too.
people are saying
We'll keep it going.
we're getting some people say they just love the conversation. People are going in and out of the conversation. So
Well, they should come out for a beer. It's more fun in person.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we did invite them, but I don't.
We're in Santa Fe. We're
Yeah.
not. We're a little off the beaten path.
Or
Yeah.
destination.
Better than Burke.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm just glad that the fact that the new camera and my new mic works a lot better than the old side. If you saw the first book, The Funk Lives, there was like 40 different wires, and
Well,
wires
this is a
kept
clean
calling apart.
setup.
Yeah, and,
Nobody has to have this earphones and or anything like
yeah,
that.
this iPad makes a difference. I found about a new iPad that was new enough that had to take the app. The old app was too complicated for the old iPad. So this way I can use my phone, and instead of usually before I had my laptop open to read the questions and to
Yeah,
kind of
this
monitor.
is nice. It's compact. You can take it anywhere.
Oh yeah, I mean, and are we going to drink Corona afterwards? That's my story. I got to tell my story.
I don't think we have any Corona. We have hams.
Okay. Oh, I haven't had hams in a while.
We have hams. That's what we
Lamb,
count.
Of course, one of my favorite stories, since we're telling stories
I've got
now,
PBR in it.
is if you guys go back and look at Milk the Funk on the wiki, there's I've got to drink
Gotta
faster.
chug.
Quick.
Less talk, more drink.
This is the double.
Yeah.
Nice. I like the double. Big fan of the double.
Okay, you got to talk about the beer, and then I'll tell my story.
Okay, well, I'll talk about it real quick. So this is a real simple beer. It's a Belgian double, but we used our house mix on it instead of a traditional Abbey strain,
Nice.
and then we aged it in rum barrels
Oh, that's what
for
I'm yeah.
15 months, and then we aged it. We did tertiary fermentation on plums. I can't remember what plums they were. Santa Rosa plums, maybe.
I think so, yeah.
We got these plums from the guy that goes up to Palisade also last year. Yeah, this beer has been in the bottle for a little while now. And we were celebrating the Canadians' win in mixed doubles curling, so we called it mixed doubles curling. Because the Canadians, our friends up north, are very, very kind, gentle people.
America's Mohawk.
Yeah.
With our new label.
Hey, the company I work for is actually based in Canada, and a lot of my fellow employees are curlers. They,
nice.
Curling is awesome, yeah.
Yeah,
So this is our second generation label. Our first one I'll show you. It doesn't have
French curler?
the Rowley Farmhouse up here. We were trying to keep it simple. We made the rose a little bit more compact, and we put our logo up here because people are asking, "Where'd that beer come from? What is this?" You have to look around to see it. We changed the colors a little bit, keep them all consistent with the rose. Yeah, I think it's a nice, clean presentation now.
This beer, again, terrific. I mean, I don't think you brought your best beer down to Florida.
I only brought a little bit because
Yeah, no, I mean, I was just joking. It was delicious, but I mean, I'm blown away by the beer.
It was just the best that day.
Yeah.
You know, it's also in the
There was a
morning,
lot of good beer
and
that
I'm
day.
not a morning drinker. I can drink a beer when we go brew at the brewery. Alex will bring me a beer, and I'll drink it. Oh, it's not. I'll say, I won't say anything. I was, that's not good. And I'll drink that same beer, afternoon, and it's a totally different beer on my taste buds. I'm just not a morning drinker.
How are you
It seems
supposed
like,
to be drunk all day if you don't start early?
well, that's true too.
that is a good point.
When you get to my age, though, you got to be careful about that.
Yeah, you can't get too torn up.
Not that much older than us.
Hey, Luke, cheers from Coda Brewing in Golden, Colorado. Anybody know them?
No, I'm not familiar with them.
Okay, well, thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching. Cheers,
I
Coda.
thought Coda was Ursula. No?
It says, yes, Coda Brewing in Golden, Colorado.
Hi, guys.
What kind of beer do you brew, Luke? You can chime in here. Easy to type.
Luke's brewed a saison, right?
Yeah, I've made a saison thanks to. Actually, I brewed a few things.
I was talking about this, Luke, but go ahead.
Sorry.
But go ahead. While we wait on him, yeah.
15
I was
seconds
gonna
away.
say, yeah, no, I've made a lot of the styles for a while. I was homebrewing. I joined the homebrew club with Rowley. That's kind of how I got my start writing, because Santa Fe Brewing Company hired me, and I was doing all the really small batches out there. So I made everything from lemongrass hibiscus, California common to Mexican chocolate porter to I didn't do any IPAs. But I did all the other styles I wanted to drink.
You'd mentioned a Rowley homebrew club?
So yeah,
it's not a
so
Rowley
It wasn't a
club,
Rowley
but-
thing. It was just he was the president of the homebrew club
Okay.
at the time, and I joined. And yeah, they kind of gave me my tutelage. That's how I got my start.
This guy right here has been formative for so many people in the state for brewing. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
Oh, thank you,
for that.
Tom.
And
That's nice.
of course, for all those out there who want to learn a little bit more about Rowley and John, the Full Pint did a great podcast called Chemistry Meets Art, and here it is tonight. Chemistry
Meets
Art.
Art.
And we thought about maybe using that name for our beer when we do the collaboration.
That could work.
But it's talk a little bit about what you do for a real job. You're a chemist.
So I am a chemist. I've been working in the lab since 1995. So that dates me quite a bit. But
You're old, huh?
I'm an old dude. I'm a professional chemist. Yeah, I started working as an electrochemist. My training is in electrochemistry, batteries, fuel cells, cyclic voltammetry, really boring shit. Not fun to be running CVs all day. Really, really sucks. But yeah, my passion lies in beer. It really always has. I brewed my first batch of beer in '88. So that was, back then.
Were any of you guys born in?
Syrup.
I was alive.
85.
I was way out of college by then.
LME, syrup, it really wasn't impressive. It was okay. I mean, the problem was we were drinking this. My buddy Steve, his dad was making this cherry chocolate stout back in '88. It was fucking fantastic. And he always had bottles of it in his cellar, and we would raid it and steal them all and drink them all. And his dad finally was like, "You fucking kids, I'm going to show you how to make beer. You guys make it on your own. You're drinking all my fucking beer." So we did it a few times with him, and that was fun. But life got in the way. I got to go to school, and I was on tour with the Grateful Dead for a while. I had fun with that. And
Okay, you got to talk about that.
well, I mean, I could tell you a lot of stories.
I mean, when you're on tour, you were following them, or did you work with them or for
No,
them?
I was on tour following the band, and
Oh, so you were
hanging
just
out.
one of the people going around?
Yeah, I'm just driving around.
Oh, okay. The people, the minivans I see stopped
He was shaking
on the
the
interstate by the highway patrol every time.
I've gotten pulled over a few times.
Yeah.
Selling Snapple.
Snapples. No, I never sold Snapple. I sold Sierra Nevada Pale Ale. $2 Pale Ales. You can get a lot of money to have 5 cases of Pale Ale.
I'll bet.
Back in the day, $2 a beer was a lot. Now they probably get 4. I don't know.
Does your background in chemistry help you in your brewing?
I think it does in a kind of a general sense, and I think it helps more with the analysis of what's wrong with your beer. It may not help as much with the
And
brewing.
water chemistry.
Yeah.
Water chemistry is not something to be trifled with. I mean, I think we take a pretty stringent approach to water here. We use RO water. We have a guy come in, bring 4 ppm TDS RO water,
Oh, really? Okay.
delivers it to us. It kind of puts off any kind of maintenance or upgrades to an RO system we would have to have in house. Mm-hmm. As a home brewer, we all used RO. I mean, it was a much easier way to do it. And you start with a clean slate. You can build any water profile you want. You can do, you want to make a soft Pilsner, no problem. You can do that. You want to make a 500 ppm TDS New Mexico IPA, no problem. You can do it. But if you have a base water that's shitty to start, you're going to have a beer that's shitty to finish.
I can see the new trend now in beers across the country. New Mexico IPA.
Well, trust me, they've been talking about it for a while.
Okay.
It's not going to be that much.
You never know. There's
Brewers
always
knows about
but a lot of breweries are always looking for that, especially away outside the area. They're looking to be the first person. That's like the New England IPA was, and
You know what?
and now the San Francisco Brew.
I mean, the brute thing came from one guy, so I mean that's impressive.
Yeah, I was visiting family in New Jersey a few months ago, and everybody was buying me beers, and every beer was hazy. Every single
They
style,
do that,
every
yeah.
beer. And I'm not saying they were bad. I just couldn't.
You don't
drink
need that
them.
in a freaking cream ale.
No. Like I'm ordering a porter. And I don't need that.
You don't
in
want
my
it in
life
a
right
porter
now.
at all.
No. So,
No, I
but
mean,
they loved it. Everyone out there loved it. So
yeah,
it's like people drink
there's
what
a
they want.
there's
So I
there's a
have
limit to
multiple
that.
taps.
Don't do that with every beer.
No.
Yeah.
Please.
But brew what your customers want. Brew what
For
makes
the
you
love
happy.
of God, please.
Yeah, I think as long as you're happy with what you're brewing, then you should be able to brew whatever you want.
And paying the bills.
Yeah.
You got to pay the bills. That's
So
that's
pay the bills and also
that's the
brew what you
downside
want.
of
And your employees.
Yeah.
opening a place. You have to pay the bills.
Pay
no
your
matter what.
brewers.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, you can't have
Every
you can't
brewer
not pay
needs a
your brewer.
raise, for the record out there. Every
Yeah.
brewer needs a raise.
Absolutely.
Rubber boots.
Especially
ain't
with
enough.
especially the ones like me who work for free.
Yeah, if you're working for free.
Hey, Rod.
Well, you get a fringe benefit. I work for free too. So I don't get paid here.
As I've traveled the South, the story I was going to tell earlier was I did Milk the Funk Alive. You can find those. I've done these before with people in Canada, with the group down in Florida. But I got done filming. It was a 2-hour podcast with Bob Sylvester, Garrett Crowell, Jake Miller, and then Christopher Johnson just happened to walk in that night. So I said, "Sit down," which was a great thing to
Come
do.
have a beer with. Yeah, he's a great guy.
Oh yeah, and he could carry a conversation too.
Yeah, he's a super
And I
smart
think
guy.
that went on for like 2 hours, lots of questions, and got done unpacking up. And of course, it's hot in Florida, And there's a segue to this story.
And humid.
Yeah, and humid. And
What time of year was this?
it was in February, but it was still,
Still hot, yeah.
and it was still humid. And
Yeah, we lucked out when we were there.
Yeah, it
'cause
was cold, actually,
It was
yeah.
cold. That was nice.
yeah, and no, I hated it. I was cold.
didn't like it?
No, because I'm in Tennessee.
I loved it. I was like, this
20
is
degrees in
perfect.
Tennessee. I thought, I can't wait to go down there
I
and
was kinda
bake.
hoping it was going to rain tonight.
I burn hot, so
Yeah.
for
I do
me,
too,
when
but-
it's in the 80s and humid.
It's been. We had a terrifically cold winter in Tennessee. I thought, hey, I'm going to go down to Tampa, and I want to see 80 degrees.
Yeah.
Plus, I want to go down to the beaches and the scenery. I'm sorry, ladies, but the scenery and things
That's
like
important,
that.
yeah.
Yeah, and but so we get done. I'm packing up my camera, and Garrett, who is a fantastic guy, says, "Art, we're going to go next door and knock out some wings." There's a wing restaurant right next door to Brasserie
wings,
Saint
by the way,
somewhere,
here.
and
yeah, the wings here are awesome.
and went over there and here's some 4 of the better brewers or best brewers, I would say, in the United States, world, whatever, guys who have made a reputation slamming down a bunch of Corona beer. And I hadn't had a Corona in years because I'd gotten that snob feeling about, not drinking stuff. Which leads me to, which I find out is a lot of these Texas breweries, a lot of the Florida breweries, all are brewing Pilsners, lagers, easy drinking
There's a
beers
reason
because
they're
of the
drinking those
heat.
beers, yeah.
Here in New Mexico, I'm pleasantly surprised. I was thinking I was going to come here and it's going to be 110, kind of like Phoenix.
You're in the monsoon season now, so it's
Yeah.
cooled down quite. It was hot a couple weeks ago.
Do you guys do any Pilsners or
We had
lagers?
Pilsner Fest a few weeks ago, like
Okay.
at 2nd Street, where we had 17
Crab and
Pilsners
Pilsner
from-
Fest.
Crab and Pilsner.
And crabs, so which is beautiful.
Oh, man, yeah.
Yeah.
I came down the wrong week.
Yeah,
Yeah, Russian crab.
So you have beautiful, crisp, clean beers mixed with crabs and butter.
Oh,
So
One
like,
of
as
the
a
best
brewer, I'm like,
festivals in New
oh,
Mexico.
it's driving me
Yeah.
so
crazy.
you guys,
Great.
so you guys brew
That was
Pilsners
amazing.
and that style beer?
Everyone here brews a good Pilsner.
Do you guys brew Pilsners?
we have one Pilsner we've tried to brew. I wouldn't say it's our best beer. It's pretty good, though. It's kind of a farmhousey Pilsner.
What about
Canteen makes a great Pilsner. Like, there's good Pilsners.
Canteen
Yeah.
Pilsner is
I
fantastic.
mean, everyone
Marble
talks about
Pills
New Mexico IPA.
is really good. Marble
Mexican,
Pills.
Mexican
But
lagers?
secretly, every brewer in New Mexico wants to brew a really good light Pilsner.
Yeah.
That's just.
What about Mexican lagers? I know that was.
We
Yeah.
just brewed our Tres Equis.
There's a
It's
few
Mexican
people
lager.
that do a good one. Tractor makes a good one.
Yeah, Trackers is awesome.
They're a brewery in Albuquerque.
Yeah, New Mexico lager. It's like
Yeah.
an
There's a
old
few
school,
around.
like,
I would say Tractor's kind of the
We're not
best one
just
I've ever had.
IPAs in this state. Like,
it's like an old,
For your
old
viewers
recipe,
out there,
from
like, come on
Germany,
out.
like, first
Come on out and
just
try
IPA,
some,
like,
try some
try
good
our
beer.
Got some more questions.
Mexico makes good beer.
Yeah.
Right.
We totally do.
Good
Luke Smith, again.
Light.
Really good.
Two Lukes. What? Two other Luke. Yes, Coda was an Aurora, now in Golden. I'm also a biochemist and love the dead and brewing water chemistry. Pound ales
Wes
with
is over there
Pizza.
shaking his head. Fucking hippies.
You know, you still didn't answer. Hey, you still didn't answer the question. What kind of beer do you brew there? Yeah, so come on, hurry up. The 25 seconds. We can go on.
I think,
Otherwise, this
I
one
think
will
I've
answer
met
again.
him actually. Yeah, I met him.
You met him? Okay.
Okay, and because that was the one thing about Garrett. I mean, was his love of Mexican lagers, and I don't know if there's any truth to behind it, but the story was the reason he even wanted to leave Jester King because they wouldn't let him brew a
wouldn't
Mexican
do-
lager.
No, I mean, they're
And I
kinda
can
locked
understand
into
that,
what
yeah.
they do.
And he wants to brew the big Mexican. He's got his brewery starting up, and he posts pictures. I think he might have been he may even be the guy that started Whip the Meringue, the page. I don't know if y'all were on that page, which these preposterous
Sure, yeah. I've seen
heads.
that, yeah.
But Garrett really was fantastic to me.
He's a nice guy. Yeah.
And the whole group, Jake over now at Heirloom Rustic Ales, it was an amazing story that I went down there. I believe his father had passed away. I said I'm coming down to do a story, and then I think his father passed away the week before. But Jake got with me. He goes, I think Bob wants to do this. He's going to do this because I said, we can put this off.
Sure, it's a tough time.
But he says no, he wants to do this, and as Bob said, we got Jake, and Bob comes back and goes, guess who's in town wants to brew with me? Yeah, I said, who's that? He goes, Garrett Crowd. Can he come in? I said, oh, no, not Garrett. No. Yes, absolutely. The more the merrier, and then, of course, like I said, Christopher Johnson walked in, and then now also on that podcast, Matthew Gimmel, who's now with Hourglass, he was a homebrewer at the time, and they were talking about opening Hourglass Brewing.
Yeah, I met those
Yeah,
guys. Yeah.
Hourglass makes unbelievable beer out of the Orlando
Really
area.
good beer,
Yeah,
yeah.
and we ran into those guys up in at the Funk Collective when we were there, and we're going to do a collaboration with them too. So
Nice.
I try to figure out how I'm going to get around all these places. I keep telling people let's do collaborations, but
Now, words come up again. I'm hoping we can do a collaboration.
Yeah, we should. We should do it. I'm into it. I know I said barley wine, but we could do anything.
I was hoping.
I think it's Bee
like,
Whistle now.
Bee Whizzle.
Yeah.
That's correct.
Bee
Yeah.
Whizzle for sure.
That's the
Luke,
term.
where can the people who are living in New Mexico or want to find out a little bit more about where are you? Is it a
So
newspaper or a blog?
We're on Facebook, Instagram, everything, Twitter. I mean, we cover it all, but like we're online. We have our own website.
And say it again, what it is?
New Mexico Dark Side Brew Crew.
Okay.
So yeah, like I said,
I
we
think it's
cover
NM
everything.
Darkside Brew Crew.
And so every
.com.
Wednesday
Yeah.
we always post. We send emails out to every brewery in New Mexico. We don't get emails back from all of them, but most of them are really
Sorry,
good about.
jeez.
Come on, guys.
I respond sometimes.
I have not received an email.
So we send emails out to every like Sunday night, Monday night kind of thing, and then Wednesday we post
Thursday night.
whatever beers are going to be released that weekend. So the week ahead in beer is Darkside's thing, and we're the only way to find out what's going to be released that weekend. So.
Yeah, so they're on top of what's coming out
Yeah.
that
It's your
week.
beer, dude.
And our
As long as
editor-
the breweries are willing to tell them.
yeah, and our editor,
Some
he's
breweries
on it
are
very
lazy
much.
about it.
Yeah.
Start emailing me.
Jeffrey does a good job. He replies.
I'm doing it. I respond.
Glitter beer every Saturday.
But that's how
Glitter
people
beer.
know what beer is available in New Mexico because it's a big state. It's a
With
big state.
the free lap dance at Cheese.
Okay, here we go. Luke finally answered the question. He goes, we brew spontaneous oak fermented and mixed culture ale. Slushy Machine Sue. Love you guys.
Cheers, Luke.
Milk the slush coming up.
Oh, nice. That'd be
Lambic
good.
slushies, the
Brett
new
Slushies.
thing.
Wow.
I drink that.
So what do we got here?
This is golden ale dosed with yuzu fruit, Japanese fruit that we used for a local restaurant in town. Super pungent. I was super nervous
Yeah, we've
about.
had yuzu beers before. They're really good. Like Off-Color makes a yuzu
Yeah.
presenter vice.
Yuzu Fierce.
Yuzu
That's so
Fierce.
good.
Trying to
We
think
had
of-
it before.
I think maybe Yazoo did a
Oh,
a yuzu, I think,
Fantastic
too.
nose.
Super nervous about this
Yeah,
one,
it's,
but it turned
that's a
out
super
well.
lemon nose. I like it,
Oh,
and
yeah.
it's not like Mr. Clean
Right.
nose. It's like actual fruit nose. I like it.
So if you're
Yeah.
in Santa Fe, go by 10,000 Waves and take a soak and drink this beer and eat some food.
And finally, a beer that's not taking acid off my teeth. I mean, an enamel off my
Great beer,
teeth.
Tom. I love it.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah, that's
That's
freaking
what makes
awesome.
Yeah, Rod did the base for it,
Nice.
and I did the dosing. So
What yeast did you use to
it was Chico for this one.
Chico? Okay, yeah, it's got a clean profile,
Oh wow, that
but
is.
then the fruit just pops.
Takes over. Yeah.
I'll
And
bet
it has a little bit of a tartness from that, but not I definitely
Just
above
enough.
4 or something like
Yeah.
that.
this beer. Somebody needs to hand me a lawnmower.
Right.
Really.
Yeah,
See,
you
this
know,
is-
George
this is
Oh, so you
Gershwin.
guys don't have grass here? Do you have grass here?
We
We
do.
got rocks.
It's kind of like
We got rocks. And
Places.
Yeah.
you can have the grass if you work really, really hard. When I
Depends
first
on your
bought my house
generation.
here, it had
Yeah.
grass,
Uh-huh.
and I gave up. I was like, "Fuck this shit. It's not worth doing it.
But I'll
Too many
mail you
rocks.
our-
Fucks up your
Argosa.
lawnmowers."
Huh?
You're gonna like Argosa.
Okay.
Like, I'll mail you some of that.
All right. I know that I think you said you have relatives in Tucson. My
Sure.
Yeah, my
father-in-law and mother-in-law live in Tucson, and when I go down there, it's like I can't wait to go back and see green grass. I mean, I'm ready to cut lawns.
The same way. My parents are in Colorado. Just going up to Loveland. A little bit of urban sprawl and green everywhere.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah, we don't get a lot of green here, although it's starting to green up from the monsoons.
Yeah.
Been raining a
I
lot.
was surprised when I was flying in the plane and coming in today that it was a lot greener in the mountains and the areas around and even driving up from Albuquerque.
Yeah, 2 weeks from now it'll be the greenest it's going to get all year.
Yeah.
It's a little different up here at 7,000 feet. We're in a different environment than you just go down to Albuquerque, and that's more like central and southern Mexico.
We're at
Once you
7,000
get up-
feet here?
Right?
Yeah, Santa
No
Fe's
wonder I was so
7,000 feet.
puffing and
You're like,
puffing. when I
Oh
was-
man, I'm out of shape.
Especially with all the beer I had in my suitcase.
No, it's high here. We're at 7,000 feet.
Now it's more like northern New Mexico. It's a different environment.
Yeah.
It's totally
Yeah, we're
different.
definitely more
And
mountainous.
it's
here.
it's nice and
Yeah, the evenings are perfect.
not humid and all that too much.
No humidity.
Yeah.
Flying in,
Yeah.
you probably saw rivers that exist for 2 weeks out of a year. Like
Yeah, there was a river in between Las Lunas and Albuquerque. There was a river that had water in it.
Yeah,
That's the
come back in 2 weeks
maybe.
and it may not.
Depends. The Rio Grande's full. It runs all year.
Yeah.
I've
Maybe.
been.
It depends on how much we give to Texas.
Yeah.
Especially around here.
we're supposed to give water to Texas.
Is there a dam situation?
There's a couple dams along the way, but sometimes they use it up before it gets there, and Texans get all mad at us.
Well, yeah, because Colorado only gives up so much.
Yeah, but I think most of their water comes from the Pecos.
How can
Texas
they build
water.
walls with that water, though? Like,
How can they build a wall without a water?
Yeah, they need water.
You need
like
water for the
building
concrete
without
shit.
water.
Well, we're
Let's get political.
It looks,
did. Okay,
it looks
stop
like
that,
as
stop
it looks like as the beer is getting down, we're losing
did, but that's
we're
it.
losing the
How can you
people.
build a wall?
So we're gonna wrap this up. Thanks for watching us. Share this with your friends. Again, thank you to John and everybody for inviting me here.
Thank you.
And this was
Cheers, thanks,
fantastic.
Art.
I've learned a
Appreciate
lot.
you coming
The
out.
beer was fantastic. You know, we're gonna post this on.
Cheers, internet people.
Yep. So, like I said,
Pay your brewers.
yeah, pay your brewers. And hey, guys, read the wiki, check the sticky. We're out of here.